If humiliation had a sound, it would be the echo of my relatives' laughter bouncing off the marble floors of that extravagant wedding hall. I wasn't even through the entrance when the first whisper floated toward me. Maya came alone. Again. Well, she always does, doesn't she? I froze for a moment, wishing I could melt into the shadows, but a small hand tightened around mine. Mommy, there's so many lights. Lily's voice pulled me back. My daughter, only 4, but already my anchor. I forced a smile, bent down, and fixed the tiny pearl clip in her hair. I had bought it from a clearance bin the day before, promising myself she would look like she belonged here among the silver chandeliers and glittering guests. I straightened up and took a breath. Ready? She nodded with bright eyes. I'm Maya, 27, single mom, and the family's favorite punchline. The first insult came faster than I expected. My Aunt Farah spotted us from across the hall and waved dramatically as if she was greeting a celebrity. Well, look who's here, our family's very own cautionary tale. A burst of laughter followed from the cousins gathered around her. She eyed Lily with false sympathy. At least you've got, what is it, babysitting experience now? Some skills are better than none. More snickering. I felt my cheeks flame, but I kept my head high. After 4 years of being the family's symbol of failure, I'd learned how to hide the cracks. What they didn't see was how many nights I stayed awake sewing torn clothes so Lily wouldn't feel poor, how many meals I skipped so she could have seconds, how many times I cried silently in the bathroom before drying my face and reading her bedtime stories like everything was okay. They saw my life as broken. I saw it as held together by stubborn strength. The walk to the tables felt like walking through a gauntlet. The hall overflowed with expensive perfume, gold floral arrangements, and people dripping in diamonds. My cousins all looked like they walked right off magazine covers. I scanned the seating chart, hoping for a spot anywhere near adults. I found my name. Not near my parents, not near my cousins, not near old friends, but at a table decorated with cartoon napkins and crayons. The children's table. Maya, someone called behind me. You're that far left corner. They had actually placed me at the end of the kids section, facing the wall like a timeout chair in kindergarten. A wave of embarrassment washed over me. Lily tugged my arm. Mommy, why is our table so tiny? I didn't have the heart to answer honestly. The whispers never stopped. As we sat down, 2 teenage girls at the next table stared at me. Did you see her dress? One murmured. It's cute for someone shopping at thrift shops. I looked down at the dress I spent 6 weeks saving for. It wasn't designer or flashy, but it fit me well, made me feel almost beautiful. Their giggles sliced through that feeling like glass. Then came the bride. Aisha glided across the hall, surrounded by her dazzling bridesmaids. She looked like something out of a movie. Silk gown, jeweled veil, flawless makeup. I stood up to hand her the gift I'd worked overtime hours to afford, a white gold bracelet she had admired online months ago. She took the box with perfectly manicured fingers. Maya, this is sweet, she said, stretching the word like it was painful. But honestly, you didn't need to buy anything. You should save your money. Children are expensive, right? The bridesmaids laughed, the kind of laugh that hides knives. One leaned in and whispered loudly, "She probably skipped groceries for this." They all chuckled. My throat tightened. I put on a polite smile, even as the humiliation burned hot under my skin. As I walked away, I saw Lily coloring happily, unaware of the cruelty swirling around us.
Thank God she didn't understand yet. And then I saw him, the groom, Daniel, tall, clean-shaven, confident. I'd seen him earlier in pictures on the wedding invitations, but in person, something about his face tugged at a memory, like a name stuck on the tip of my tongue. I studied him from across the hall. Why did he look so familiar? Before I could think it through, my grandmother snapped, "Maya, stop staring at the groom. It's embarrassing. People will think you're jealous." Heads turned, snickers erupted. I sunk back into my seat, but that faint familiarity wouldn't leave me. Dinner was the worst part. Plates of roasted lamb, garlic potatoes, and steaming vegetables were placed in front of every adult guest. But when the servers reached our table, they set down small plastic trays, kids' meals, chicken nuggets, and fries. Even for me, a hush fell when people turned to watch. My aunt clutched her stomach, laughing. Oh my God, they gave her children's portions. Well, it suits her situation. Someone else added, "She must be so used to cheap food anyway. Isn't she always on food assistance?" My face felt like it was on fire. Lily looked at my tray, confused. "But Mommy, yours is the same as mine. Why?" I forced the laugh. "Because it's fun. We can match tonight." Inside, something dark and heavy twisted. This family had hurt me before, but this level of public humiliation was new. Then, the toasts began. A clink of a spoon. Chatter settled. My uncle rose. "To my niece and her husband," he began warmly, "may their future be bright." Then, his tone shifted. "And let this be a reminder to our younger generation that good choices lead to blessings." The implication hit like a slap. Good choices, unlike mine. People discreetly glanced my way. I stared at my plate, trying not to cry in front of Lily. That's when Daniel, the groom, stood up, slowly, deliberately. He cleared his throat. "I'd like to add something." The whole room quieted. Everyone expected another joke, another polished, elegant toast, but Daniel wasn't smiling. He looked straight at me, and suddenly, a memory slammed into me. 5 years ago, I was sitting in a cold hospital hallway, weak from hunger. I had fainted during my appointment from low blood sugar. A young medical student rushed over, knelt beside me, and asked if I was okay. He bought me food with the last money in his wallet. He sat with me until the dizziness passed. He spoke to me with genuine kindness. "I don't know your story," he told me, "but I know you're stronger than you realize." His name tag said, Daniel R. Back to the wedding. Daniel lifted his champagne glass. "I want to say something about Maya," he said, loud enough for the entire hall to hear. My heart stopped. People turned their heads, confused. Whispers erupted. Why is the groom talking about her? Daniel continued. 5 years ago, I was a struggling medical student, exhausted, broke, questioning if I chose the right path. One night, I saw a young woman faint in the hospital waiting room. She was pregnant, alone, and she refused help because she didn't want to inconvenience anyone. Eyes widened. A murmur rippled through the hall. That woman was Maya. The room froze. I gripped the edge of my seat, my breath stuck in my throat. Daniel went on, voice steady. "I want everyone here to know something. Maya is not a mistake. Maya is not a failure. She is one of the strongest people I have ever met." Silence. A deep, stunned silence. Daniel lifted his glass toward me. To Maya, who taught me what resilience looks like. Applause erupted, loud, overwhelming, genuine. I covered my mouth, tears spilling before I could stop them. Lily clapped too, giggling because everyone else was. But I knew this moment was for me. After the reception, something even more shocking happened. While guests danced and the lights dimmed, Daniel slipped away from the crowd and found me near the exit. Maya, he said softly. I felt awkward. You didn't have to say all of that. Yes, he replied. I did. He hesitated. I never forgot you. For a moment, his eyes softened in a way that made my heart flutter dangerously. Before I could respond, Aisha stormed over, gripping his arm. What are you doing? She hissed. Daniel didn't look away from me. Thanking someone important. Aisha's expression twisted, jealous, suspicious, furious. And in that moment, the entire power dynamic of my family shifted. The girl they mocked for years, the girl they shamed, the single mother they pitied, had just been publicly honored by the very groom they idolized. And nothing in my family would ever be the same again.